Hello and welcome to another game demonstration of my XQ trivia game, which stands for Experience Quotient. And what we have here is a general knowledge trivia game with 21 questions. And there's also a twist. The twist is I don't know if you want to call it a twist, but you have to wager every question, and there are 4 rounds, and you have to get to a certain target score. You have to reach a certain amount of points to get to a certain score to be able to advance past each round. So, and you'll see what I mean as we go into the game. So, as you can see, you can play in single player or teams. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play as a single player. This is also connected to the Firebase, the Google Firebase platform, which controls all the real-time data information, which comes in handy when you're playing with multiplayers. If you're playing with a single player, uh, you will not be able to see perhaps how that works in detail. I'm just going to sign in, and then just hit new game, enter my name, and you can also play with a live host. Uh, that is for, let's say you're playing with 2 or 3 friends, and you need a host to facilitate it during a scheduled session where everybody's available and they're playing in real time. You can play with a host that's not needed, so I'm just going to hit start game. And up here you see 5 different categories, and what you need to do is to start off, just select one of these categories, and here comes the first question. Airport codes, which is the following. Airport codes does not refer to an airport within the United States. So it's just multiple choice. You click an answer here, and then you put in a wager. That can be anywhere between 1 and 100 points. Now keep in mind, in this first round, you have to have at least 1 point in order to advance past round 1. Meaning, if you answer a few questions incorrectly, you end up in the negatives. That means your game is over by the end of the round. You'll have to play again and try to get past 1 point in order to make it to the other round. So I know the answer to this is in Canada. That's the Toronto airport. So I can put in 1, but I know I want as many points as I can. So I'm going to put in a 100, which is the maximum wager value I can put here. If I wanted to, I could hit this button to increase my score automatically by 100. Regardless of whether I got the question incorrect or correct, and that would help me if I needed to catch up in score. So I'll just hit place wager, and I got it correct, so I get 100 points. So we pick the next category, and we go on to the next question. And I know the answer to this is men, so I'm going to put 100. And so next category here to the chief. Now, because I wrote all these questions, I pretty much know the answer to every single question, but let's just pretend I don't know the answer to this question. So, and I press this answer. And so you notice here in the minimum wager value, you can wager up to my current score, but the least I can wager is half the question's point value, which is 50 points. So I'm going to put in, let's say I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put all my points in, and that drops my score back down to 0. And so the next question I answer, I'll either need to get it correct or wager in a small amount. So let's go with sci-fi. And I do know the answer to this question, but let's just see what happens if we go into the negative. So let's choose this for an answer. I'm only going to wager 1 point. And you see we're going to the -1. So the last question in this category, uh, we have to make sure Since this is the last question in this round, we have to make sure that I get at least 100, I get at least 1 point. So what I thought this was going to do was, uh, what I thought this was going to do was I thought this would only give me a maximum wager value of 1, but because the point value of every single question in round 1 is 1, then that would mean that, or 100, that would mean I can wager up to 100, and I can wager up to the point value of this particular question. So I'm going to answer the question, and I'm going to wager 100 points, and let's see if that's good enough to get past round 1. So yes, it says here, congratulations, you have successfully reached the target score of 1 point, so I'm eligible to go into the next round. If I did not get that answer correct and I failed to get 1 point, then that would mean my game is over. So let's go to the next round. And I'm just going to answer these questions. Some I may not, some I'll just guess. And you see I can only put down 1 point. I know the answer to this question, so I'm going to wager 500 points for this. 98. Time zones. Now I'm going to intentionally get this answer wrong so we can see what happens when we get close to the uh, target. We want to go under the target score. You see, I got that wrong. And mathematically, do I have enough points to come back? Even if I wager all my points, well, let's see. Yes, I just barely made it. So here we go to the next round. $13.92. The key strategy for any player is to possibly go for the questions that you know the answers to build up enough points so you have a safety net, and then save those questions that you may not know for the end, so that at least when you make your wagers, you have a cushion to decrease your score so it's not uh, too far away from the target score. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Note when I hit the music category, it pops up with a YouTube video. I've incorporated the YouTube API in order to provide audio and video content to enhance the questions. So I'm just going to stop that. And that YouTube video will disappear once I answer the question. So. And it'll continue playing after the answers are revealed, or I can stop it at any time. So these two categories I may not know anything about. So during the last 3 questions, I built up my bank as much as I could with the right answer so that I would have something to fall back on. And so when I make these wagers on these next 2 questions, if I get the answer incorrect, I'll at least have enough points to stay within the target threshold of the 5,000 that we need. So I'm going to answer this question with this particular answer, but I don't want to go full in. How many points do I think I need? Just to play it safe, I'll do the minimum of 500. And that's the beauty of having these low minimums, so that if you get an answer correct, you're able to keep as many points as you can, while also having little damage to your point totals. And I'm going to answer with this, because I don't have a clue. I may not have a clue, so I'm just going to answer with this. And let's say I'm going to wager 4,000 this round. And for this question, let's just see what happens. At least I made it into the next round. Now this is where it gets interesting, because now this is the final round before the bonus. And usually what I had it set up with is you must wager all of your points, but then after getting some feedback from some players, that may not be a good idea, because if you get it wrong, you may not be able to recover. Let's say you're at the last question of the round and you get it incorrect, then if your score falls below negatives, then you're disqualified from the game. So what we're going to do here is we're going to answer these questions. Now this is a list question, and what you're supposed to do here is make a list by clicking each one of these answer buttons. You make a list of, in this case, the top four, or you're making a list of the events that occurred in this video that correspond with the events in history. So we can see that the iPod is 9/11, the iPod, and next we should see the hurricane, which coincidentally or conveniently stopped where I needed to. So if I know that, then Obama must come last, and so I'll put a wager in there. And let's say I'm going to do 6,000. I'm going to do 6,474. And you can see I got it correct. It shows my list and then the correct list. So let's keep playing. 26,220. Let's say I didn't know the answer to this question. Now, I could put in a minimum wager value of 19,665, and I still have some points left over. But keep in mind, I only have 2 categories left. And if I get this incorrect, then it'll go down. I also noticed that we're working with decimals here. So let's say if I put in 9832.5, what my score will be. And it says you must wager on. No, it's not going to take decimals very well. So we'd have to round this up to the latest whole number. I do happen to know the answer to this question, so I'll do 19,664 points. And you see, YouTube videos can pop up before or after the question. And so I won the game, and my final score was 29,496. Now, here's the decision time. I can either keep what I have, or I can play the bonus question for an opportunity to triple my winnings. I'm going to play the bonus. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to hit the category corresponding with that. But now this is where things get interesting. And you actually have this option at the beginning of round 4. But you have the opportunity now to break the wager value, break the wager limits. As you can see, the highest I can wager right now is 58,992. But I want to be able to win hundreds and thousands of dollars, possibly millions. That's your goal. But it doesn't have to be. Your goal is to win as much money as possible. So what I can do is after I click an answer, I can use this unlimited wager button to lift the wager restrictions and put in any amount that I want. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to do 981. I'm going to do 981,614. And instead of hitting the place wager button, I'm going to hit the use unlimited wager button. And that takes me up to $1,011,110. And I have the opportunity to play again or quit. You can play this game multiple times. You don't have to just play once or take me back to pressing quit will take you into Google. So I'm just going to hit the quit button and we're at Google. So if you have any questions about how this works, feel free to leave a comment or send me an email at hayes378@gmail.com, and I will update the questions from time to time, and I'll post on Facebook or Twitter when I have updated the questions. I try to focus on a mix of general knowledge questions with what's going on in the news, because I figure that the news, the TV, and the radio is something that the majority of players would be familiar with, and they'd have some knowledge about it. So, hope you enjoyed this game demonstration, and I hope to see you in the future, or at least I hope you have fun playing this game.